Okay, let's dive into this. Picture yourself sitting around a flickering campfire. The deep shadows of the woods are pressing in from all sides. The air has grown cold, and literally the only sound is the cracking of the embers. That is exactly the atmosphere we're stepping into today. Today's explainer takes us away from our usual brightly lit data and drops us right into the heart of a seriously chilling legend. We're looking at a phenomenon that has haunted travelers for generations. It's known as the Banyan Tree Ghost Road. It's this fascinating topic where local folklore collides heavily with human psychology. And the result? Well, it's a story that might just make you think twice the next time you drive down a dark, tree-lined street. Imagine you're driving alone late at night. You turn onto a totally deserted road. There are no streetlights anywhere. The headlights of your car slice through the darkness, only to be completely swallowed by a massive, overarching canopy of ancient wood. This is the domain of the dense banyan tree. The air grows incredibly still, and it's broken only by the low, haunting rustle of a slow wind moving through thousands of leaves. You are entirely isolated out there. It's literally just you, the dim light of your dashboard, and an endless stretch of black pavement surrounded by towering, ancient roots. You can almost feel the temperature drop just thinking about it, right? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that we aren't talking about a faraway, specific coordinate on a map. When we look at the source material, it explicitly tells us that the Banyan Tree Ghost Road is not a single officially recorded historical site. Actually, it's a generalized, common term. It refers to virtually any deserted path that happens to be suffocated by a dense banyan tree canopy. What that means is, this phenomenon isn't locked away in some distant country. A Banyan Tree Ghost Road could literally be right in your own region. It could be that dark shortcut you take to get home. It's a terrifyingly universal concept born out of a very specific environmental setup. And when night falls on these specific types of roads, the local folklore comes alive with terrifying consistency. According to the claims made by countless night travelers, this is exactly when things start to go wrong. The stories frequently begin with a sudden, completely unexplained vehicle stop. Your engine just cuts out. You try the ignition, but it's totally dead. So you roll down the window, hoping to hear another car coming to help. But instead, an eerie, suffocating silence takes over, the kind of absolute quiet that actually rings in your ears. You are stranded in the dark, right under the massive branches of the banyan tree. Because once that silence sets in, the encounters begin. The folklore details a very specific, chilling sequence of events that builds into pure psychological terror. First, it's the profound, undeniable feeling of an unseen presence. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. You know without a doubt that you are being watched. Next, out of the corner of your eye, you see them. Shadows moving in the dark. The darkness almost seems to detach itself from the trees and shift around your vehicle. And finally, a strange, overwhelming uneasiness washes over you while crossing these stretches. It's a primal, instinctual panic that tells you to get out of there as fast as you possibly can. So, the question that hangs in the cold night air, the question that has terrified generations of drivers, is someone really there in the dark? Are these ancient, sprawling trees actually harboring unseen entities, just waiting for unsuspecting travelers to cross their path? Okay, take a breath. Let's bring the lights back up just a little bit. So, the crucial point is how dramatically the perspective shifts when we look at this through the lens of scientific analysis. While the folklore warns of ghosts and unseen presences, experts offer an explanation deeply rooted in our environment and our biology. See, banyan trees are famous for their massive, twisting aerial roots that hang down from the branches. When you combine those bizarre, twisting structures with extremely low, shifting light from a solitary pair of headlights, your brain really struggles to interpret the visual data. It starts turning those roots and branches into strange shapes, humanoid shapes, monstrous shapes. The shadows aren't ghosts. They are optical illusions created by a magnificent, complex tree. And this brilliantly illustrates what experts consider the true formula of fear. It starts by setting a vulnerable stage. Step 1, deserted roads and low light. Your senses are already on high alert because you're alone and exposed. Then, physical triggers are introduced into the environment. Step 2, the ambient, whispering noise of the wind and those bizarre hanging tree shapes. Your brain is desperately trying to find patterns in the dark. Finally, the trap snaps shut. Step 3, psychological illusion. The fear and imagination already planted in your mind by local legends take those physical triggers and literally manufacture a paranormal experience. Your brain basically fills in the blanks with the scariest possible outcome. Which brings us to the most grounding piece of data in this entire explainer. 0. According to the source material, there are exactly 0 scientifically or officially proven instances of the supernatural occurring on these roads. Not a single documented fact supports the ghostly claims. The overwhelming uneasiness, the terrifying shadows, that unmistakable feeling of an unseen presence, it is entirely driven by a perfect storm of environmental factors, deeply ingrained folk beliefs, and powerful personal psychology. Your mind is simply playing the ultimate trick on you. Yet, even knowing the science, the stories survive. This is a legend that continues to generate both fear and thrill among people for generations. We all love a good scare, don't we? We love the mystery of the unknown. And the human mind is so incredibly powerful that it can conjure a ghost out of nothing but shadows and twisting wood. So I leave you with this thought. The next time you find yourself driving down a pitch-black road, and a massive, twisting canopy of branches blocks out the moon, even armed with all this logic and expert analysis, what will your own mind conjure in the dark? Keep learning, stay curious, and maybe keep those high beams on.